I have heard their groans and cries. I have seen their tears, and I would give every drop of blood in my veins to set them free. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell Pharaoh, let my people go. Well, good afternoon. Well, Miss Dot asked me if I'd come here today to tell you a little bit about how I got started on my way on the Underground Railroad. See, there'd be a few of us moving through the dark of the night, through the thick of the woods. I tell them, follow my hand. See the drinking gourd and the stars? The North Star right beside her. She's showing us the way to freedom.
I find an interesting truth in that what we have never experienced, we can't understand. When I go to a school now, I find that some of the basic vocabulary, well, I thought it was basic, is not shared. That they have no sense of what an auction block is. They have no sense of what a chain gang is. Even the grapevine or the Underground Railroad, these are metaphors that are applied to activities that are extremely apt in describing them in some way. To bring and use the tools of theater to help that understanding is vital, I think.
Oh Lord, you done took away two of my babies. Please don't take this one too. See, I woke up to the sound of my mama singing and praying and rocking me there in her arms. When they brought my little crumpled heap of bones in there to Mama, there was so much blood everywhere. They were sure I was gonna die.
Today's event was to bring forward the Underground Railroad story in a way for both young and old. I brought the lantern. I use it with Harriet because a storyteller is the one who carries the light into the dark to show you, look here. No, wait a minute, it's over there. Careful, careful. Look down there. Watch where you step. There's a path coming right up on the left. Libraries have been a great source for this kind of event. Just one of those many venues that has been connecting to the West Virginia Humanities Council to bring in their History Alive programs. Other people call them Chautauqua. They can bring history into the present day in a way that is compelling. There's a wide variety of historical characters. I have focused on African American women who I think have made a big difference in some way or other. The first character I developed was Harriet Tubman. I do schools and festivals and even get to go overseas sometimes and do these for different events. So we look at these historical figures representing America's story, whether it's Henry David Thoreau or Eleanor Roosevelt. The variety of Chautauqua characters and personages give America what Teddy Roosevelt said, it's the most American thing about America. These are whole, big, huge, long, amazing, wonderful lives. Well, you have to then, as the storyteller, pick which parts of those go together to make this, and you pick those that will help harmonize the audience you have. And you are using them. They are part of the story. A storyteller doesn't just get up and tell. A storyteller is also listening. They're listening for the body language. They're listening for when they lean in. They're listening for when they lean out. They're listening for those moments that pop. And it might surprise the storyteller too. And then they will tell another part of the story they never even thought about telling. because they've been listening. So this kind of storytelling, when you're a Chautauquan, you have to know the character well enough to be able to do that. So that means you have been not only studying their words, you're looking at their physicality, you're looking at the sound of their voice. If you don't have the sound of the voice, you have a photograph, you find out of the structure, their physical structure, how that voice might be produced. And you come up with pieces that would make sense and become historically plausible so that the portrayal then has integrity.
That feel good, don't it? That be a lesson to you, don't cost you nothing. That's the best medicine you got. You keep a song in your heart and at the ready.
You've asked me, do we forget our history? Well, yes, we forget what's not in front of us. We forget where our keys are. Yeah, it's easy to forget. But it's not just forgetting. If generations tell the stories of their family's journey, they will continue a sense of that connection. But we have many generations here who were shamed, who wanted to forget, who would be punished for remembering. In my mother's generation, they were not encouraged to ask questions. There are things I will never know about my family simply because those who knew have passed away and it went with them. So sometimes it's not a matter of forgetting. Sometimes we've never bothered to consider beyond our own experience that another's would be able to enrich ours and guide it in a more productive, satisfying path. You can't tell them everything, but you can tell them enough so that they have an empathy and that they want to know more.
Tomorrow, same train, same train, same train.